Hi guys, welcome back to another Get Ready With Me. I'm always saying Get Ready With Me, they're now called Makeup of the Days. Welcome back to another, I was just going to say it again. Welcome back to another Makeup of the Day. This one is going to be with my That's Expensive Projecr Pan items, but also with the Bougie palette. I pulled this in recently. I've not used it yet for this. I've used it, but I've not used it yet in a That's Expensive Makeup of the Day. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We got there in the end. So first of all, we're going to go in with the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And there really isn't that much left of that. So I've literally, there was loads of hair here the other day. I really didn't realise how much there was. I've got a little shaver. I'll show you that in a minute actually. I've got a little shaver, but it's not really doing it justice anymore. I used to go to the beauty salon. I do have hairs down here. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. I'll try and take a picture. I've got loads down here. That's why I'm trying to hide them with this jumper today. I have got polycystic ovary syndrome for all those people that don't know. So I do get a lot of hair. It's annoying. So yeah, I might go back to the beauty salon, but it just cost a fortune. It's like £15. And that's why I got one of those shavers. But it's literally pulling them out and it stings. So it's just one of those ones. And it's certainly not meant for people that are suffering with polycystic ovary syndrome. So I might just have to go to the beauty salon once a month or once every 2 months and get them to take care of it. Now I know that didn't have anything to do with the makeup of the day, but I just thought I'd explain. And it's cold as well, that's why I'm wearing this polo shirt. Right, I'm going to go in with the New Look Glow highlighter stick now. I wasn't going to do this video today, just because times are getting on really. I ordered my first 2 Christmas presents, first 3 Christmas presents. I'd already bought my sister. She wanted these really, really nice pyjamas. Quite expensive pyjamas, may I add. I'd already bought my mum a pair of earrings. I bought her a little Sol de Janeiro set, like a travel size set. My niece wanted one anyway, and Don looked fantastic. They was kind of not too for the price of one or anything like that, but they were really, really cheap. They're normally £30 in the UK. And I got 15% off anyway, and then I got an extra 10% off. So it came down to £20.25, and I just thought, I'd been thinking about getting my mum the original set anyway, because my friend Naomi had sent me a little cream and she really, really liked it. So I just thought, why not order her that? So she knows what she's getting so far anyway. She's got the earrings, the little travel set. I've ordered her some perfume from River Island. So I'm well on my way to actually getting Christmas gifts. If I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it. Just because I can't afford to go out and buy everyone's all at once. I wish I could. So I have to get my other niece something, but she's working full time, so I don't tend to spend as much on her. Her birthday's coming up and then Christmas, so I'll need to get her. I normally give her money for a book because she really likes to read. Then, is that it? No, there's a couple more things from my mum that I want to get. I always spoil my mum a little bit more. Right, instead of going in with both foundations tonight, I'm kind of over it already, but I will use the Maybelline 110 times. I'm just going to go in with the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This is part of the That's Expensive Projecr Pan anyway. The other one isn't. The other one is part of Project 10 Uses. Yeah, so I think I'll just go in with the That's Expensive products for tonight. I need a drink though. My drawers and my palettes are that full, it's not wanting to stay in that Bridgerton palette. So I'm going to go in with the Face Facts Vitamin C Facial Mist. yeah, I didn't really need to film this video because I've got at least 4 or 5 videos back to back till I think the 2nd of October. I do need to film my fun size Pan That palette update though. I'm going to try and do that after this, or maybe when I get home this evening. There's been some weird things happening. Like, a couple of times last week, I noticed someone was knocking on the door. So I've got a peephole. So I looked through that, and there was a guy wearing a blue shirt, like a blue polo shirt, and he had a lanyard on. So in a sense it did look official, but if it was official he would have left me a card to say where he'd come from, wouldn't he? And then he came back the next day, not the next day, he came back a few days later. He's not been today. So he came back on Friday, today's Monday. And yeah, he's not been back since. But then he came, I don't know whether it was him or whether it was somebody else, came in the afternoon. He came in the morning, both times he's come in the morning. I don't know if it's him that came back in the afternoon to try and catch me when I'm going to be in. And then he went out, like he knocked on my door, went out, pressed my intercom. It's like, get a clue, guy, get a clue. If I'm not going to let you in when you're knocking on my door, why would I answer the intercom? Anyway, I did answer the intercom. And I said, hello. And he's like, hello. And I'm like, hello. And he's like, hello. And I'm like, so I just hung up on him. Speak. You know, if you're going to ring someone's intercom, just don't speak. Just blending it down my neck a little bit. Right, now I'm going to go in with a Glossier Stretch Concealer in G12. Has anyone else had that happen? I actually did a Google search my area to see if anyone else has reported anything like that happening. And when I Google searched it, it said, do not open the door to unsolicited people, so people that you don't expect, because it could be anyone. A lot of people are scammers, so don't do that. And if you're getting really, really scared, then you can call the police and they'll do a welfare check on you. If it keeps happening, I will call the police, because that's harassment. That's harassing someone in their own home. Let's do the brows. All I'm going to do is brush them up. I might not even put brow glue on them. Oh, we may as well use the brow glue. I don't think this is part of any Projecr Pan. I mean, it really should be. We're nearly done with it. You can see the window in there. I think it's just an everyday essential. I hope this records all the way through. There's one day last week it just didn't, even though I'm stopping and starting it. Yeah, they just, neither phone that I've got an iPhone 11 and an iPhone 12, neither of them have really, really good memory. It's like 64 gig on each. When I do get a new iPhone, I'm definitely going to have to at least get 126 gigabytes more if I can afford it, because obviously the more memory, the more expensive the phone. I do have an Android phone, but it only records in SD. When you're used to having it record in HD for so long, well, this iPhone records in SD and HD. So when you're used to that and you see SD, you're like, oh, I don't like the footage. I don't like how it doesn't look grainy. I think I'm going to have to try it one more time. Maybe tomorrow I'll try it. I'll try and do a makeup of the day with it tomorrow. And if I don't like it, then I can't use it to record. If I think it's okay, then I will use it to record just until I can afford to get a new contract. Right, so I don't know where my little powder puff is. I'm going to have to go in with this Unit's translucent loose powder. It's not Projecr Pan, it's more Shop My Stash. But I don't have any more, that is. I don't have a Projecr Pan loose powder. I'm going to have to bring one out next Shop My Stash. Right, let's put some on the forehead. I just stopped it while I sorted this out. I don't like stopping videos, but it just means less to edit, doesn't it? So you're still getting to see what I'm doing. Right, we're not going to go in with the Sephora cream stick that's in Project 10 Uses. I'm just going to go straight in with the Hourglass palette. I've not used this in a while. When I say a while, for at least a good week. Just purely because I've been using all the Project 10 Use stuff. But this is part of the... I can show it to you. This is part of the That's Expensive Projecr Pan. So the bronzer's going down nicely. So once I've used the Tanya Bear bronzer from the That's Expensive Projecr Pan, I'll be going back into this bronzer. I really do. It would be absolutely amazing if by the end of the year I panned it. But the baked products, they're not that easy to pan, are they? I mean, this whole entire thing took a year and a half to use up, and I used it all over the face. I was constantly dipping in with bronzers and blush. You're not really doing that, are you? So I'm just going to blend this out, and then we'll go into a blusher. I might go into the two blushes that are in the palette, actually. Try and get use out of them both. Right, I've just been talking and I've been talking to myself. So I was just telling you that I went in with the Glistening Bronze Light. So that was the name of the bronzer. And then this is Vibrant Heat and this is Luminous Rose. We're using both those blushes now. So I think I'll go in with this one first. And then Vibrant Heat. There we go. What I'll do is I'll go in with a Super Shock highlighter in Lunch Money. Normally I use it with MAC Soft and Gentle. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to put a bit of this on. And then we'll use the highlighter from the Hourglass palette. Just going to blend this out first though. There we go. And then the highlighter is called Supernatural Strobe Light, and I barely made a dent on that because I really don't like it. When you put Colourpop Lunch Money on underneath, it does look nice over the top of it. I think it's just because of similar shades. So can you see how glowy it looks now? But when you don't put highlighter down underneath it, it looks like nothing. So we'll blend that out as well. Then I'm going to go in with the Glowy Huda Beauty powder in the shade Fair. So right, this isn't in Projecr Pan, but it really should be. So it's in the Beauty Crop Amelia Olivia Glow Milk Mist bottle, but it's not that. It's the MCore Beauty Miracle Flawless Setting Spray. I don't like it. You know, I tell you all the time I don't like it. If I'm going to tell you not to buy something, it would be this. But obviously, if you're thinking about getting it because it's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, which it is supposed to be, and you want to try it for yourself, then go ahead, try it for yourself. You may like it. I just don't. And it takes a lot for me to say I don't like something. But then again, I don't like this. The Dalba First Spray Serum. I need to check when I bought this, but I would say it's at least 4 months ago. So I've been on my no buy now for, it's coming up 5 months. And I would say I've had this 4 or 5 months. But I don't use a lot of it anyway. So I do want to use it up. I like the way it looks on the skin though. Towards the end of the makeup, once I've got the eyeshadow down and everything, and before mascara, we'll put some on and I'll show you. I really do like how it looks on the skin. It makes the skin look glowy, but I just don't like the scent of it. So is it worth me actually getting it and just ignoring the scent like I have been doing? Can I tolerate the scent? They're the questions that I need to ask. But I've also got a Beauty Crop setting spray, and that, like, before that goes completely, I want to do one side with Dalba, one side with Beauty Crop setting spray, and I want to see if I can notice a difference using the Dalba. Now if I can, then it is worth a repurchase. If not, then it's not. I just need to get any glowy setting spray, don't I? So rant over, guys. Let's put some eyeshadow primer on and move on to the eyes. Right, so the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime eyeshadow primer, is always a mouthful, is on the eyes. I'm going to go in with this from the Revolution Contour Palette, just to help with the eyeshadow so it doesn't go on patchy. I'm not liking how dark it looks up here, but it is what it is, right? Eyeshadow, there's not going to be a lot to the eyeshadow. I feel like I just want to put a base shade all over the lid and into the crease, and then a topper over the top, and maybe something in the outer corner, but we'll see. I think I've got my mind made up though. So like I said earlier, we're going to be going in with the Bridgerton Diamond of the First Water. So this was the first eyeshadow palette that came out, and my good friend Naomi bought it for me. So looks like that, and inside it's just beautiful. It looks like, I don't know which way to show you, this way. Isn't that stunning? I'll show you this way as well. Just try and stay out of the frame. Yeah, like that. So what I was thinking, I definitely want to use this. I've not used this palette in ages, and I thought about using this shade as well all over the lid and into the crease. Possibly use this here on the kind of like outer corner, and then maybe this one on the lash line. Just love it. I've still got to watch last season's Bridgerton, and I believe they're coming out with a new season of Bridgerton soon, aren't they? So I'm way behind in watching that, just like I'm way behind in watching most series on Netflix, just because I don't have Netflix at the moment. So my plan is to actually buy it again soon and just binge watch Netflix. Right, I don't know if you can hear this, but outside, I think it's at the back of my flat actually, all I'm hearing, you're going to think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. All I'm hearing are owls. I hear owl voices all the time. Most of it is like very early hours when I'm trying to get to sleep, because I'm a night owl myself, and there's quite a bit of forest at the back of me, and I'm thinking, am I just making that up? But I even looked on YouTube for the kind of noises owls make, and it's the same noise, guys, the same noise. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but a couple of years ago, I did go to my mum. She lives like 5 minutes away. So yeah, my mum's got more forest at the back of where she lives. And an owl was on the road one time when I was just walking to my mum's, and I thought it was a cat. And oh my gosh, I panicked so much when that owl looked at me. Oh, I'm like, you stay there, good owl, good owl. But yeah, I can't believe I'm hearing noises where I'm living. There's not really anywhere really for them to go, but I can hear it. And I promise you, I'm not going mad. I can hear them. You know, cats are constantly fighting each other, and it's like, no, stop it. You're going to hurt one another. Right, so I'm going to go in with this shade first. They've got shade names, so I'll tell you. It's Art of the Swoon. And I'm going to put it on this brush here. And really, really put it in. Because I want to get a lot of that down. I'll look in this mirror, actually. Now, I wouldn't normally use a pink, red, raspberry shade on my eyes, but I'm hoping it's not going to look too bad. I know that I've never done this look with this palette. I've done a lot of looks with this palette, but never this one. So once I've got this down, I'll blend it out. So who liked Bridgerton? Who's watched them all? What I did watch yesterday with my mum. Well, I watched a few things, but the main thing I watched was the disappearance of Jay Slater. Oh, so sad. He was only 19. So he went missing in Tenerife. And 30 days later, they found him unalive. So he'd been taking drugs. He'd been at this festival, taking drugs. I think I'm not gonna say what drugs they were because I don't know what I can and can't say on here, especially since I'm monetized. Yeah, so he'd been taking drugs, not the ones you get in prescription. Let's just say that. And went to this festival and kind of he knew these people that he went to the property with in the mountains, but didn't know them an awful lot from what I can gather. I mean, there's always more to a story, right? Why is this brown? Have I not cleaned that brush properly? Anyway, one of the guys said, oh, you know, I'll take you home in the morning. And he said, no, I want to go home now. And he said, oh, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was. So, yeah. Anyway, he walked to the bus stop. He spoke to this woman. I'm going to go in with this shade now. He spoke to this woman and said, what shade is that? Love Match. He said, do you know when the next bus is due? And she said, yeah. She said, a few hours. So we started walking. Why would you start walking? I don't care what you'd been taking the night before. Why would you start walking when you don't know the place? To me, I just don't understand that. I don't understand the logic. And I know he was only 19, but, you know, surely he had a brain on him. And I'm not having a go or anything like that. I think too many people have had a go. You know, his family have taken the flak for it and things like that. So I'm not bringing it up for that. This is why I'm not doing a video on it. I'm just talking to you guys about it. And I'm not going to put it in the title that we talked about Jay Slater. Because I feel like now is the time to let his family grieve. You know, they brought out that documentary. I feel like it's now their time to grieve. Anyway, then he started walking up the mountains. And there was a lot of terrain there. He obviously didn't know how dangerous it was. Just going in it with the powder from the Revolution palette. And he fell. He fell in the, like, terrain. And we don't really know when that was. I don't think anyone's come out and said, oh, it would have been that day. But apparently he fell so bad, like he'd fractured his skull. And, like, the post-mortem said he would have, you know, died instantly. So the only good thing to come out of that was he wouldn't have been in any pain. But it's just such a tragedy for a 19-year-old. But I remember when the story came out, when the story broke, they were saying, oh, he's on drugs, he's selling drugs. Even if that's the case, does he deserve to not be here anymore? Just blending this out. I don't think it does. I mean, leave me your thoughts down below. I just feel like it's such a shame for a 19-year-old. And obviously his family are going through so much. And then his mum said the armchair detectives on TikTok and YouTube just made it 100 times worse, 1,000 times worse. And yeah, they're gonna, aren't they? They're gonna, because they would have been making money off it. I really, really disagree with crime and making money off it, especially when they try and hold someone accountable and they don't really know the facts. I mean, show us the facts, and that's a different matter, isn't it? I'm really not liking how it's coming, but I'm hoping it's going to turn out okay. And this is just because I don't like to wear pink or red. Right, I'm going to go in with a Technique glitter primer. Right, now I think we're going to go in with this brown for the lash line. So that one is called Plum Regalia. Keep putting the palette down. So like that. May put some of this on the lash line too. Okay, let me just colour switch that off. And then we'll go in with, what shade is this again? Regency Blue. And it's just a topper, but it's like purple and blue at the same time. Let's show you. You can see how sheer it is. And I don't like my eyeshadow to be sheer. I just keep applying it and applying it. I don't know who's called me, but now I'm getting messages as well, so it's like, get a clue. If I'm not answering, I'm not answering for a reason. Now that looks a lot better than it did earlier, but I still need some of this Revolution pressed powder. This here. Blend it out a bit more. Now I do want to use it in the corner highlight. Not sure what yet. Okay, we're going to use this. It looks like it's more of a satin shade. What shade is it? Iconic Ingenia. Okay, let's get some on the brush. It's not sparkly. Right, let's go in with that brown again for the lash line, which was called what again? Plum Regalia. This one here. See if this works. Not really. Well, it's not really working, but we're going to have to do the same on the other eye. Let's just try and go in over here. You can't even tell I've got any of that on, but it is on the lash line. Right, now let's go on with mascara. Let's try the 17 Bigger Better Lash, because I used the Essence one yesterday. I don't think these are in like a project or anything. I think they're just daily essentials. Oh, I didn't want to put the mascara on. I wanted to put that spray on. We're going to have to do that tomorrow, because this is quite a wet formula, and if I put spray on over this, then it's going to ruin my mascara. This is a really, really good mascara for the price, guys. I think it's about £4. Just look. I've doubled it, never mind. Should really be sitting closer. Never mind, I'll give you more of an overview at the end anyway. Right, and we are going to be using a Project 10 Uses lipstick. This is the only one that's in the Project 10 Uses. It's Is It Fussy by Fenty Beauty. So let's go ahead and put some of this on. There we go. Right, so this is a look. I'm just giving you a close look. I've started doing that in the last couple of videos. I hope it's not too annoying for you. I really, really like it. I think it's pretty. We've used the majority of the eyeshadow palette, actually. The aim of the game with the That's Expensive Projecr Pan is to use each shade one time, or if I'm using it more than one time, just whenever. Once I've used, like, the 6 shades in here, for example, once I've used each shade one time, so then it can go back until the update's due, and I'll talk about it in the update. But what I've not been doing with the That's Expensive Projecr Pan palettes that I've been pulling out, I've not been putting them in my ranking video. I need to do that going forward, because it's still a palette that I've used. So expect to see this one in my ranking, in my September ranking. So we used this first, then we used this. Did we use that? I'm sure we did. I'm sure we used it. I'm probably going to end up using it tomorrow anyway. Yeah, I'm sure we did, because I said I'm going to use this, and then this, and then this for the lash line. So we used all 3 mattes. I used the topper, because that's what's all over the lid. I used this one here, so it's just this one down here. So we're going to be using that tomorrow. That middle one down there is called Duchess Divinity. So I'll do another look with this palette tomorrow. But anyway, this is what it looks like. Nice thumbnail. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's much appreciated. We got to the end of the video without it stopping on me, so that's progress, right? I'm going to leave a picture of Luna at the end of the video. I'd very much appreciate it if you like this video for Luna, and leave me a comment. And again, that's the look. I do have a bit of mascara up there, but I'm not too concerned with that at the moment. I'm just going to my mum's now, so it's not like I'm going on a date or anything. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.